I have some very good news for you if you're open to this. I'm going to talk about how everything's created and how absolutely everything is not only your own perception, created by you, and that what is happening out there, you must be participating in through that creation. But I'm also going to tell you something today that could put you at ease and allow you to switch over any fears that you have about what is coming, because we have things coming, and what's going to happen to you in your personal life. This is heavy duty stuff, and it's so simple and so powerful. Get ready to shift today into that new dimension, that new reality, only if you choose. Let's go. Welcome to Landria Onkka on YouTube, here to help you break through the fears and live an amazing life. All right, as Dolores Cannon said, fear is for entertainment purposes only. Everything is absolutely created. Everything is absolutely created. Name it, it is created by you. All right? So we're going to talk about us as human beings right now, because everything else is just so way out there that I would probably lose you trying to wrap your head around some of the things that I have been told and know, which you probably know also. We have access, we all have equal access to this information. When we came here as human beings, we agreed to play a role in order to do that and to make things real for us, to experience fear and experience all the things. We had to forget all that we are. That's changing now, because that's part of the challenge, is to know that we are not dense bodies. Now here's what I want to share with you, because this is so powerful. Evil does not exist. All right, so if you're a religious person, hang in there with me and just, you're not threatened by anything. You're never threatened by what somebody says, right? I'm not here to change your religious beliefs or anything else. I'm here to ask you if you're open to anything else out there that may empower you in a very positive way and affect the collective, because we are all one, so what you do does count. So, the reason why I say evil doesn't exist is because it only exists if you believe it and you create it. The same thing goes with hell. So if you believe there is one and you have been brought up and told that, so I want to ask yourself this: where did you get those ideas from? It's not just a fact that we all connect into. It's been passed down. And they are all fear-based beliefs. Because as long as you think there's a place like that punishes you, you're going to behave a certain way. And certain people in certain power positions love using that. So this has all been programming that we as human beings have done to each other, because we are ego-based. This whole structure on this planet is ego-based. That's why it's completely in, let's just say, disarray. Chaos is only created because we do it. There is no chaos in the universe, none. And the reason why we feel chaos here is because we absolutely are in conflict with one another, creating the chaos. That can change right now. If you oppose anybody, you are creating chaos. You're creating what is not really, let's just say, the foundation of everything, which is perfection. But you'll create what appears to be chaos. You can create what appears to be anything, which is any of you who come back and tell me about the reptilians and all this other stuff. It's only real because you're creating it. And so you have to ask yourself, where did you get that information from? Where'd you get it from? People that are creating conflict and fear, that is all that is. Because does it make you feel fearful? Yeah. Why are you listening to it? Because you actually create it when you do that. If you don't listen to it and you never knew it existed, right, in your world, your reality, because again, that's all self-created, then it doesn't exist. So if I was the wolf child out there in the woods, I'd have no clue what you're talking about. And so I would live my entire life, hopefully honoring nature and living with it, and not having any concept of anything other than what I observe. This is at the core of everything that's going on in your life. So I want to ask you something right now. Are you ready to go to a different dimension? Because 100% of everything that's going through your head right now is creating your reality. 100%. Because you are of the Creator. You are a human with free will, allowed to create your own experience and journey here. That's why you chose this body and this role. Play it out. Play it well, my friend. And you can absolutely change every single thing in your life that you don't desire to experience anymore, simply by how you view it and see it. So what's going to happen right now is, if you believe that others are evil, then you are saying that you are, because the other is you. There is no separation of energy. And so what you think appears to be separate is our illusion that creates the conflict within each other. Now, this is a tough one because we do see each other as separate and threats, and that is 100% the illusion and the belief. When you know that that's not true and that we are all just say, one powerful energy of the one creating different experiences, no one becomes a threat anymore. So when you go into a lower density, you're creating that evil and that conflict and all those things, and that's very real for you. You can end that now. Evil is 100% fabricated. There's no such thing, only if you create it. All right? So it's going to seem very real to you if you believe that. And if you believe somebody is evil, then they are. And if you believe there are evil entities out there that have some kind of control over you, then they will. There are only frequencies, high and low, only frequencies and vibrations that create whatever it is we're looking at. A frequency is obviously the lower density up to awakening, enlightenment, of which we are. That is the essence of everything. So anything else that is not that is 100% fabricated. And we're allowed to do that because we are here to experience all the things that is possible of the one, but is not truly the essence of it. The essence of the one. Why do millions of people, there's millions of stories of near-death experiences, people that actually did, leave their bodies and go over. Why is it that you don't hear, on occasion you'll hear, maybe one in a couple million, go over and have the most euphoric, amazing experience. And the only thing they experience of a negative nature that's unpleasant is the review of their life here when they inflicted lower frequency actions, thoughts, beliefs on somebody else or something else. Nature, animals, other people. That's real because it's created by them. So you have to experience that again, and it feels very uncomfortable. It's not being judged, but what is happening, that you're going into this space where you get to understand the consequences of all of your actions. Right? Because we're always learning. It never has to exist. Evil never has to exist unless we choose it. Because who's doing that? There's no separate entity creating that. We have to do it ourselves. We have to be the one that murders or steals or, abuses somebody or says something nasty or, whatever else we find about each other that we don't like. That's all a choice. 100%, nobody ever makes you think anything negative about another person. You have to believe it, and if you're told something and you say that's how it is, you get to choose that it's not true for you, and that was just something handed out by lower density people. Right now, you can shift into a world where you're going to realize all there truly is unconditional love. And that the one is the creation of every possible thing it can be. And that's all it is. It's a play. All right? So you're not really that character in the play, but you're playing the role. So when you get off of that stage, you're not that character anymore. So that can't be real. It's only real for what you're experiencing during the play. So when you get off the stage, what do you go to? You go back to what you really are. And in the big picture, that is the essence of pure light and love, awakening, which you are right now. Everything else is you deciding that you're not this, you're not worthy, you'll never be loved, you'll never have abundance. 100% coming from you, 100%. Nobody does that to you. So as soon as you decide none of it's true, you'll start to see things shift. And you can't sort of believe it. You have to 100% know it, that this is all made up. It's part of a collective, so it's an energy field, like you see me with my little puppet playing the ego. It is a very powerful energy field that comes with the turf when we come here. These are costumes we've been given to put on, so you're there. You're in for the ride. And so that energy field of ego comes with that. That's part of the suit that we put on to play the role. Comes with a dense energy field that's been passed on, because there's no separation of anything that's ever happened, past or future. So, right now, if you're willing to let go of any limiting thoughts, negative thoughts, if you're willing to let go of them, fearful thoughts, things that like you're a bad person, or if you do this, you're a bad person. That too, I'm sorry, this is a tough one, because that's a judgment that they're bad and they should think and believe what you do, and we got to get rid of it. It's time to get rid of it. Nobody should think the way you do. They think the way they do. It's okay. So, what are we going to do for ourselves? We're going to let everything go. Everything we've ever been told, everything, including me. You don't have to believe anything I say. Let it all go. We don't have the answers. We know absolutely nothing, to be honest with you. But if you know the one thing, and that is we are 100% light and love, and that's all you need to know, and if you come from that place, there is nothing else. No evil, no judgment, no anger, no loss. It's only a temporary facade to experience what that's like. And when you get rid of that, somebody said, they sensed that, I was sad when I was telling a story about my mom and the intuition who, could have died if I hadn't gone with my intuition along with my brother. And I said, no, I don't experience that, because I know that's not real. I know it's a choice to feel a certain way, and that there's nothing wrong with those human feelings. It's okay to feel those, human feelings, because once you leave the body, you don't experience it. You go into euphoria, and you'll continue to learn. So somebody was saying that their brother committed suicide, and that he on the other side is feeling regret for that. So you will carry those feelings over and work through them, but you're not in the density here that makes it so difficult, because you're not surrounded by the chosen negativity on the other side. There is none. It's the truth is that there isn't any. But here, when you believe it, you're creating it. It makes it really tough to break through some of these things, right? So when you go to the other side, it's so much easier to learn when you realize it was just all a facade for your experience to evolve. The ultimate truth of all that, I don't know if anybody's ever going to have that answer, but there are endless powers, and you are always with your guardians at all times. So you can make a choice from your higher self to make a change. So I'm telling you right now, there's no such thing as evil. It's created if you say so. And if people do certain things that appear to be evil, all right? Because I'm not saying that things aren't going to happen that are, really nasty. It's still the one. And that's a tough one to get past, because it's still the one experiencing within that choice of that person, that energy field, to go into that space of darkness, to know it, and to hopefully break through it, to conquer it, to master it. So if you see it differently, and you know that you can participate in a positive way and be the catalyst for change instead of the judgment and the arguing, you're going to go into the new earth in that fifth dimension, and you're going to go up to a frequency, and you're going to see things so completely different, and then all of a sudden your probabilities are going to come into reality the way you desire, and it's all good, and you never have to suffer again. You never have to feel pain. You never have to be sad. And, you know, there's no reason to analyze or judge anybody else. Just never, never. You don't have to understand it. But you can be the catalyst for positive change, and that's part of your mission here, is to pull us out of that belief that there is evil, because it's created by humans. It's not over there. So you don't have to believe me, but I think out of the two choices, believing that there's hell and evil that is independent, and knowing that there isn't and it's all self-created and we can dissolve it at any point, I think I'd rather take the higher frequency, wouldn't you? It's a much nicer earth, and that's going to be the new earth versus the old earth, and you may not know that it ever happened, because you're going to say nothing's happening, because you're still hanging on to the belief that this is an evil, rotten place, and that people are evil, and that we are separate, and that people are wrong. It has to go, all of it. Are you ready to let it go? All right, you guys, come on over. I've got my new courses are out, my workshop, Shift into the New Earth workshop. Come on over. You get practices to help you break through this and realize how much during the day you're going into that negative space and creating it, creating. And so you can go over here and create this and create this and create this. That's all you're doing. You're 100% doing everything. So you can go down and sign up for my Manifest Anything free video series every week. You can go to landriaonkka.com to look at my courses. You can go to landriaonkka.net here for a free workshop. This is creating online businesses. We're doing some amazing things here. Creating businesses that are vegan, and or we even do affiliate marketing, which is promoting other people's stuff that we think is really good for the planet and one another, earning income doing it. So no more limitations. No more limitation. Do it, don't do it. No more judgment. Something's not for you, bless it and move on. Okay? Because you don't want to go into that lower frequency of judgment and striking out. Whenever somebody gets angry with me or anybody else, I know it's coming because they're in a bad place. That's all it is. Can't take it personally, because there's nothing personal. We are one. We're one energy field expressing itself. You ready to do that? You ready to go into that space where you realize, I don't have to fabricate that anymore, because nothing's a threat to me. It can't be. If you're of the one, nothing can threaten you. Nothing. And anything physical is just a facade for a short period of time. Nothing can destroy you. Nothing. You're amazing. You're perfect. You're strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, happy. Blessings, my friend. Go down, check out landriaonkka.com. Please subscribe. Please subscribe and click the bell if you want to be notified of my videos. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going and going and going until you finally realize there's no thoughts necessary. All right. I will observe. I will take action. I will be my best. It's going to be amazing. And we're all going to high five on the other side. There's no other side either. We'll talk about that in another video. Blessings to you, my friend. Namaste.